Hi, I'm Peter Birch, and today we would like to talk about making an investment. That's right, making an investment in the reptile hobby. What choices do we have? Now, if you're new to my channel, thank you so much for finding me. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification button to continue to join the adventure. For everyone else, let's get stuck into it. Let's check out making investments. I guess for most people, when we're talking about making an investment in the hobby, we're really talking about animals. Now, animals are a major part of the hobby, obviously, because without the animals, nothing else would exist. But there's so much and so many other things that we need to consider when we're thinking about these animals. Now, good quality animals come from good quality breeders and usually cost a little bit more than most. But, you know, with this day and age, reptile breeding in Australia is getting better and better, and we're producing higher quality stock continuously. And what can I say, you know, even some of the best breeders out there still produce some of the top quality stuff, and I think it's worth every single cent. So, you know, if you find a breeder and they're going to charge you a little bit extra for that quality animal, then I think it's a worthy addition, because, you know, good quality stock will continue to breed good quality animals, and therefore, you know, you'll be able to sell your animals pretty easy. Now, the other thing that we want to talk about is good quality enclosures. That's right, enclosures. Now, whether you have tub systems or cages, it comes down to good quality cages. Enclosures, really. So therefore, you know, I use all these vision tubs. The vision tubs are imported in Australia presently by Snake Racks Australia. Good quality tubs, and the reason why I prefer these tubs over just any old plastic tubs you can buy at Bunnings or, you know, Kmart and all the rest of it, is that these guys, you know, basically the urates don't really stick too well to them. So it actually almost repels the urates, so that makes it quick and easy to do. Using F10 also helps. So with these two combinations, the F10 and the vision tubs, the combination allows the urates to be dispersed and removed and make it easy and quick to clean. Continuous, consistent sizing, also a big bonus there when you're making rack systems to suit these tubs. And also, they don't typically deteriorate as quickly as the cheaper brand plastics. In other words, they don't become brittle and crack, and, you know, you drop them and they shatter and all that. Now, the other cool things, you know, enclosures, we're talking, you know, like when I was got into the hobby, and, you know, even though 25, 30 years ago, a lot of this caging wasn't available. So what we had to do was build our own, just like this. So these are just a couple of old 2-foot fish tanks. I made some aluminium wire lids with some mesh, lights in there, did their job very well for 25 odd years. And, you know, what can you say? Then you move up to a quality product, quality brand name, like these exoterras. Now, the exoterras, I've said it before and I'll say it again, I can't say anything really bad about them, you know. And I guess a lot of people go, oh, but things break. Yes, the locking mechanism here is broken, but unlike the other brands out there, you can buy replacement parts. That's right. Here's a new lock. You know, this cost only about $15. So rather than throw away the cage, I'm going to replace that lock out. I'm going to do a little video on that, show you how to do it, because it's really cool and really easy. Now, the other cool things is if you happen to break a door, one of your doors on your cages, doors are replaceable as well. And so are the lids. So if anything ever happens to the lids, they're replaceable. Now, unlike the cheaper brands that have just normal mesh, these guys have stainless steel on top. And like I said before, sometimes you're spraying through the lid, or you're pouring water through the lid because you don't want to upset the animals, or whatever you might be doing, or the humidity might be particularly high, and those lids will start to rust. But with these stainless steel lids, that doesn't happen. That's a really good aspect right there. Obviously the awesome design, cross flow ventilation through the bottom, through the lid, never allows the front of the cages to get that humidity on the front, which is a bit of a pain in the bum, because we don't want humidity in cages, especially with some of these agamids and some of the monitor species and some of these skink species. We want to reduce that, in my case anyway, I want to reduce that humidity right down. I want to get it right down as low as possible. So yeah, we're progressing here. Basically what I've done with these cages in particular, these are the new ones that I got not long ago. Basically I've gone through and I've put rock backgrounds in the back. So these are all the latex rock backgrounds from Universal Rock. I prefer these over the styrofoam backgrounds that come with them, because the styrofoam backgrounds here in Australia, we use wood roaches. The wood roaches eat into those, and then they get in behind there, and before you realise it, you got yourself a colony of roaches in the back of your enclosure. I don't like having excess insects in my enclosures that can feed on the feces or the fecal matter of your animals. and then when your animals eat them, then obviously you've got a chance of cross-contamination. So I don't really like that. The other thing I've done, as you can see in these top cages, they've got black edges. So what we've done is I've gone through and, let me just open one up here. So I've gone through, and what I've done basically is I've put contact on the sides of the tanks. So the reason why is, number one, when you look in the tanks, you can actually keep your vision on the animal and keep a really good eye at it, and it makes a great display. The second thing is you don't see through the side of the cages here, and you see all the cables and stuff hanging down, which can sometimes take away from the aspect. But more importantly, guys, is that if there's an animal in this cage and then there's an animal next door, they don't get to see each other. And some of these animals will threaten each other just by visual cues. So it's always a very important thing. And especially when you've got animals on one side of the room here and the other side, you've got to make sure that you've got to take into consideration that some of those animals might be predators to other animals in the wild. And, just by staring them across the room, they can actually, give them a bit of the heebie-jeebies and stare them down and cause some psychological issues. The animals will stop feeding and all sorts of things. You can't buy these in the pet stores, I guess, but you can make your own, guys. Don't get me wrong, you can make your own cages and you can do a really good job. Now, like I said, there are good quality cages out there available. Depending on the numbers of cages that you need to use, that's going to come down to you and what you particularly want to do with that. So, like I said, good quality products are one of the big key issues. Not only are the high quality animals that you start with, because good quality stock will always produce good quality offspring. That's what we're up to here, good quality offspring. And, these cages will last a lifetime. Now, good quality caging can't go astray. I can't say enough about good quality caging. And in fact, I got a couple of these exoterras when they first came to Australia. And I'm going to say, geez, that would have to be around about 98, 99, maybe 2000. I don't know, but I can be corrected on that. But I remember getting the first couple in, fell in love with those cages and used them for many years, and basically just slowly but gradually just constantly expanding my range of cages and all the little critters that we keep in them. So for guaranteed, guys, I would say that what you need to do is, if you're going to make an investment in the reptile hobby, number one is good quality animals, good quality breeding stock, good quality offspring, which is going to increase your ability to off-sell or on-sell your progeny. The other thing is good quality enclosures, whether they be tubs, cages or whatever. Even if you've got to build your own, like here's a few more that I've built myself. Spend a little bit of money, do the right thing, and make sure you consider the animal in those cage designs and what those animals will need, particularly in the wild, because that's the only way that they're going to thrive and survive in your care. And it is your duty of care as a reptile keeper to make sure that those animals do very well. Well, guys, I think that's enough for today. I hope you guys liked it. Make sure you give me a like. Make sure you hit me up on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Until next time, guys, thanks so much for watching CrittaCam. See you next time.